This all begins on a beautiful early spring day in coastal Georgia. And Ahmaud Arbery, who all of his friends say just loved to run, had a passion for running. He was a high school football standout. He had dreams of going further, but that didn't come to be. But on this particular day, he laces up his shoes and he heads off out from his neighborhood. And he ends up in the Satilla Shore subdivision. That's about 2 miles away, roughly, from where he lived. And many of those who knew his pattern for running knew that that really wasn't that far. He gets into the community, and one of the first things he does is he pays a visit to a home that's under construction.
Ahmaud Arbery went into a house that was being built, a construction area. The surveillance camera caught him. He didn't do anything. He didn't take anything. He was just looking. Many people do that.
He goes there and he just looks around. He goes onto the property, and it should be noted that other people, of course, including children, had gone there previously.
This is a home that he's been to a number of times before. We know that because of surveillance video. And he's not the only one who's been in that home. Many people have gone into that home. He goes in, and the visit's brief. Then he leaves. He doesn't take anything, doesn't disturb anything.
And then he came out and he started jogging, just like his family said he was going to do. And he went down Satilla Drive.
It's then he begins to run. But a man across the street sees Ahmaud running, leaving that home, and decides to call 911. And that's what sets everything in motion.
There's a guy in the house right now. It's a house under construction.
Okay, do you have your address or that house's address? And you said someone's breaking into it right now?
The man essentially is reporting that he is seeing this man, this young man, running down the street. And he's saying that he came out of a house under construction.
No, it's all open, it's under construction, and he's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
Running down the street.
Then he also mentioned something about how the neighborhood had been suffering a number of break-ins. But what's interesting is you hear the 911 operator, and she's almost imploring the man who's making the phone call to say, well, yes, but what is he doing wrong? And you never exactly hear that. The 911 operator sort of says, well, is he breaking into the property?
Okay, that's fine. I'll get them out there. I just need to know what he was doing wrong. Was he just on the premises and not supposed to be?
And he's been caught on the camera a bunch before at night. Kind of an ongoing thing out here.
The man says, no, he's not. It's a house on construction. It's all open. There's not even a front door. And he just says, there he goes. He's running down the road. So at that time, we also know that Gregory McMichael was standing in his front yard.
Eventually, he jogged past the McMichaels' home. That's where Gregory McMichael spotted him and believed that he matched a description of a burglary suspect.
And as he would later tell police, he doesn't know it's Ahmaud Arbery, but he sees what he believes is a suspect, as he puts it, hauling ass down the road. He believes that this same young man has been responsible for a number of break-ins in the community. And so Gregory McMichael quickly runs inside of his house and he shouts out to his son Travis and says, he's running down the road, get your gun. And he tells his son to get his shotgun. And at the same time, Gregory McMichael gets a .357 Magnum.
Gregory yelled to his son Travis to get your gun and let's go after him. Gregory grabbed his own .357 Magnum, Travis grabbed his shotgun, and they jumped into their pickup truck to pursue the black jogger down the street.
They come outside, they get into Travis's pickup truck, and they begin to chase Ahmaud Arbery down the road.
So they start driving down Satilla Drive. They get to the intersection of Satilla and Burford. They look to their left, and they see who they believe is the young man who had gone into the home construction site several times. So they make a left, and they start to come upon him.
Across the street is a neighbor, William Rodie Bryan. And Bryan seems to shout out, hey, have you got this? Meaning he can see that they're clearly beginning to go chase off after someone. And it's at this point that Bryan decides he needs to get involved. And so he too gets in his pickup truck and backs out of his driveway and joins this pursuit.
And they ultimately cut him off after, that is, Ahmaud Arbery changes direction and has nowhere to go.
So you have now two armed white men in one pickup truck, a father and son. And then you have another man, white, in his pickup truck, chasing a young black male through a very quiet subdivision in the middle of a Sunday afternoon. They're pursuing him through the streets. It sounds like a reckless pursuit when you hear the prosecution describe it. The vehicles are actually being used to try to corral and shove and move Arbery out of the road, trying to force him to stop.
But then, all of a sudden, conceivably, when he saw people in a pickup that seemed to be following him, he turned around and he went back the same direction that he came. And that is when everything changed.
Gregory McMichael says he's shouting, "Stop, stop, we only want to talk to you."
We kept telling him, stop, stop. They even pulled the truck next to him. They didn't get out of the truck at all, and they said, "Stop, we want to talk with you."
You can imagine what's going through the mind of Ahmaud Arbery at that time when he's got three white men, two of which are waving guns, shouting at him, telling him to stop, and saying, "We only want to talk to you." I don't think there's anybody that would have stopped for something like that. You'd want to get the hell away. And he continues running. And at one point, he appears to try to cut back and make his way back to the entrance of the subdivision.
Ahmaud Arbery makes a U-turn, and he starts running the other direction. So the pickup then turns around and starts following him. And that's when they finally get to the intersection of Holmes Drive and Satilla Drive.
Travis and Gregory McMichael in their pickup truck block his path. We also know that as this is all going on, William Bryan decides that he wants to record it.
So he starts videotaping everything.
He caught the last 30 seconds of Arbery's life on tape.
He doesn't say exactly why he starts recording. There's some speculation that maybe he was recording in case this quote-unquote suspect got away, that he would still have something he could show the authorities later. What we do know is that video would change everything in the trajectory of this case.
At which time Travis exited the truck with a shotgun.
So Ahmaud Arbery finally sees the pickup truck with Travis McMichael now outside of the truck, standing by the driver's door, armed with a shotgun. In the back of the pickup truck is Gregory McMichael. He's got a .357 Magnum, and at some point it appears he's trying to use his phone to call 911. Initially, in the video, we see that Ahmaud goes to the right and appears to pass on the passenger side of the pickup truck. And then we also see what appears to be Travis moving in front of the truck, turning in the direction of Ahmaud Arbery. And this is where fate tragically collides. At that moment, Ahmaud Arbery suddenly turns and heads in the direction of Travis McMichael. The two meet just off camera, and there's a gunshot blast.
There is a violent struggle, and they are saying, the McMichaels, that they believe Ahmaud Arbery is trying to violently attack Travis. And so the shotgun is between Travis and Ahmaud Arbery, and they admit, according to the police report, Gregory McMichael admits that his son Travis fired a shot.
It's unclear if the first gunshot blast is fired before Ahmaud Arbery actually gets to Travis McMichael, or if it's at the very moment that Ahmaud actually reaches for the shotgun that's in Travis McMichael's arms.
Now remember, there were 3 shots. He also says that there was another shot, but he does not say that Ahmaud fired the shot. He says his own son did. And 2 out of the 3 shots potentially were the kill shots. So that is a very important admission.
Eventually, Ahmaud Arbery breaks away from the struggle, takes a few staggering steps as if trying to start running again, and then collapses face down in the street.
Ahmaud Arbery, having been shot, apparently falls and is presumed to be dead.
I've always been struck by the fact that Ahmaud Arbery doesn't die in the middle of the night in some really remote roadway. He dies after being shot in the middle of the street, in the middle of a subdivision, in the middle of a Sunday.
Ahmaud Arbery went out for a jog and never made it home. Now, the 3 men accused of killing him face trial. And HLN is there with live coverage. The killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the Jogger murder trial. Special coverage starts this week on HLN.